Hi, this is John Girardi with Right to Life of Central California, bringing you another in our daily series of videos for 40 Days for Life. 40 Days for Life is the international campaign of prayer and presence outside abortion clinics around the country and throughout the world. If you want to learn more about our 40 Days for Life campaign, you can go to rtlcc.org or get in touch with us at 229-2229. So we're talking about the kinds of things that Justice Barrett might wind up dealing with on the Supreme Court as the kinds of abortion cases that might come her way over the next several years. And I think one of the important abortion-related topics has to do with religious liberty questions. How much a First Amendment right to religious liberty can coexist with various kinds of statutory mandates that people or businesses provide contraceptive coverage or abortifacient contraceptive coverage. That's kind of the key thing. But we saw in the case of the Hobby Lobby case, where Hobby Lobby was challenging this mandate placed on them by the federal government. They said, hey, we're a closely held corporation that doesn't want to pay for abortifacient contraception. We think this is violating our rights under the First Amendment, the free exercise of religion, and RFRA, the Religious Freedom Restoration Act, which is a piece of legislation that was passed in the early 1990s under President Clinton, which basically beefs up the protections of the First Amendment. So while Hobby Lobby won their case, other kinds of entities have not had their issues fully resolved, and most particularly the Little Sisters of the Poor. The Little Sisters of the Poor, an order of Catholic nuns who, because of the 2012 Obamacare HHS mandate, were being forced by the federal government to provide abortifacient contraception coverage for people on their health insurance plan, most of whom are nuns, okay? If you can think of anyone who needs that less than a nun, let me know. And these nuns were saying, look, we think this violates our religious beliefs, this violates everything we stand for. And basically, they were sort of the plaintiff that was sort of representing all religious nonprofits. And so they were making this claim. This is violating our First Amendment right to free exercise of religion. And their case has gone up and down the courts a number of times. They won a very brief reprieve from the Supreme Court just a couple of months ago. And this case is almost certainly going to come before the Supreme Court yet again in a couple of months. And what the problem for the nuns is that they kept getting these kind of weak 5-4 rulings. Weak 5-4 rulings with either, at one point, Anthony Kennedy, and at another point, John Roberts, sort of not giving them a sort of final victory and just resolving their dispute in favor of their religious liberty rights. Well, with Justice Barrett on the court, again, it's no longer a 5-4 thing. Now it's a 6-3 thing. And with 5 justices who are far more conservative than John Roberts, Roberts is going to be willing to join, again, he's going to be willing to join a 6-3 majority, more likely than he's going to join a 5-4 majority. Roberts wants to be part of consensus. He doesn't like division on the court. And while he's not going to be part of a bitterly disputed 5-4 victory, he might be part of a 6-3 majority. So again, just like in the example of a challenge to Roe v. Wade or Planned Parenthood versus Casey, which we talked about yesterday, to acknowledge the religious liberty rights of plaintiffs who are fighting challenges against mandates for abortifacient contraception coverage, basically, John Roberts, again, Justice Barrett is going to function as a kind of John Roberts insurance. I think she makes it far more likely that John Roberts will side with a 6-3 majority. He's not going to side with a 5-4 majority, but he might side with a 6-3 majority. And this is, again, the benefit of having Justice Barrett on the court. For Right to Life of Central California, I'm John Girardi.